Hello, everybody. This is the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Chris Saunders, and I'm pleased to have on with me a returning guest. And it's kind of funny because he was on around the same time last year for basically the same thing, a no-hitter, and he's only now just a year older, is also committed to UConn as well. The left-hander Erickson from the Woodstock Academy baseball program is with me. My guy, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to be able to talk to a fellow lefty, as I was back in the day when I played, and obviously yourself. You're 10 times better than I was, so that's much more, better on your side. But you guys as a team having an excellent season, Class L, 9-1 so far. You were just telling me, and I had forgotten, you guys were a first round exit last year. And I kind of, want to know, has that kind of, in some ways propelled you guys where you're not forgetting that every single time you step on the field this year?
Yeah, definitely. Like our coach, we have a new coach, and we've talked about it. We say, yeah, we had this good record, but then we were a first round exit. That's not our goal as a team. Obviously, our goal is to go as far as possible.
Mhm.
So even like our non-division games, our coach is really nailing it in to make sure that we're winning those games, not letting any team get one on us, that our record's worse, give us the best opportunity coming to states.
For you, I mean, I thought last year it's hard to top what you did, but you've gotten, and it's great to see you've improved. And I've asked a couple people around, the area as far as what has this lefty done from Woodstock Academy, and the common consensus that I got was your command has improved a lot. You're starting to grow into your body. You're knowing how your body works, and because you're a tall kid and you're probably still growing, you'll probably have to continuously learn the legs and arms and everything. But that's what I've heard. Your command has improved a ton. What says you?
Yeah, I would say like coming from my freshman year, I was still that tall lefty, but just locating pitches I struggled with, making it a lot easier to hit.
Mhm.
But just in like over the summer and coming into this year, I do agree that my command with both fastball and like off speed pitches, like I've been working locating off speed pitches in counts where I'm behind
Mhm.
because that's what makes it harder for the hitters. So if I'm able to do that, then it's gonna be a lot harder to hit me. So yeah.
Well, you think about the high school level, right? I mean, a lot of times you're seeing kids with sliders and curveballs. I mean, if they've got a heater, they're going to throw that as much as possible because they love the heater. And it's hard to catch up to that because a lot of high school pitchers are not throwing above 80, 85. The good ones are, but obviously average wise, it's about mid to high 70s and so on.
Yeah.
But for you, because you just said what your changeup, right? You said that as well.
Yeah, change up curveball.
Okay, so if you're able to throw a good changeup, that's like half the battle. But if you can locate that thing, front door, back door, the whole nine, and double up on that, high school hitters are not anticipating back-to-back nasty changeups. And I'm sure you've
Yeah. Yeah, being able to throw a changeup. So I just started working it this year, but it's kind of opened a new mindset to me because using like a fastball as a setup pitch and
Mhm.
then throwing a changeup after that is so much harder to hit than just going back to another fastball. So being able to throw my changeup confidently after throwing a fastball in the spot, like you said, locating a pitch, if I can do two of those in a row, I feel like me personally it's a lot harder to hit that than seeing just two fastballs that are located well. So having that off speed pitch has helped me a lot this year.
When did that pitch click for you? Was it long tossing? Was it in a bullpen during the summer? Was it in a game this year? When did that pitch click for you?
For me, it was so preseason we had like every team has pitchers and catchers. So we have a whole new coaching staff and a new pitching coach. So he said like, "Hey, what pitches do you throw?" And I didn't mention a changeup. He's like, "At the next level, trust me, you're going to need a changeup." And I've been told that before. I was like, "Yeah." So that was the time that I really was like, "All right, let's figure this out." So it was like an indoor bullpen before the season that it really like I figured that felt good, and I was able to command that pitch.
Was it something where with the changeup grips, and in talking with various pitchers from high school to college and stuff, even some of the pros I've talked to, the biggest thing is they're trying to play with grips, and because obviously hand size and other factors too play a factor of trying to feel the ball to come out of your hand, but also the mental side of, I've always heard when I get a changeup sign, I'm thinking fastball. I'm not thinking changeup because you want to have that arm speed. Was that something that you dealt with too?
Yeah, definitely. So initially, my problem with my changeup was my grip. I was trying to circle change, it's the standard circle change. Wasn't really looking at where my fingers were lined up on the ball. But
Mhm.
now I've figured out that the circle change doesn't really work for me
Mhm.
because I like when I threw a circle change, I would slow my arm speed down, which completely defeats the purpose. So having my fingers not connected was actually a lot easier, like mentally for me
Mhm.
to locate it and not spike it in the dirt every time.
So without revealing too much, because I know I don't want to give anything to opposing hitters if they watch this, without saying exactly what the pitch is it something of the lines of like a split change, a Vulcan change? Is it something like that, or is it just a regular changeup?
I would say it's like I guess you could say it's kind of a split change. I
Okay.
don't really try that. Like I don't pronate my wrist or anything. I just throw it like you said, like a fastball.
Hmm.
But it works good with my two seam because I throw mostly two seam fastballs.
Hmm.
So that runs arm side, but so does the changeup. But the speed change is what gets hitters. So like throwing that setup two seam makes the changeup look like another two seam, and
Hmm.
then just fools hitters.
Now, does your changeup when it fades, does it fade or does it dip? What does it do?
I'd say it fades more. I mean,
Okay.
it dips a little bit just because the grip and the spin of the ball, but it more just fades.
So what does it fade? So okay, left-handed hitter. Is it on the front door side of the plate as far as fading for lefties? So inner half?
Uh, no, I'd say it because it fades to my arm side. So as a lefty, that would fade into their back foot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. And then obviously right-handers, it would be the other way. So it'd be back
yeah,
door. Okay.
yeah. That would
Oh
fade
yeah,
away too.
lefties would be front door, back door. Sometimes I get confused by that. Okay.
Yeah,
So is there a way for you as you evolve with this changeup to be able to, I don't want to say start tinkering with the grip because you found something, but is there a way to be able to manipulate that as you evolve as a pitcher and try to get that to the opposite side? Because that would make it even more deadly.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a new pitch for me. I don't want to like kind of mess with it now because it's been working.
Mhm.
So, but definitely like over the summer times where I have time to work on it, I could mess with other grips, see what works for me, see what feels good to get a little different movement.
Mhm.
But for now, I'm just kind of keeping it standard how I felt it worked.
Being able to talk to your coach, and I appreciate him, Coach Elliott, being able to get this going and get this interview again. I know he was a big help last year with this. To
Hmm.
see kind of again all the accomplishments that you had last year, you continuing that this year and upping it another notch, committing to UConn, obviously the whole nine. How are you able? Because you're still a kid. You're going to be a little cocky. You're going to obviously you love pitching. You love what you do. You're great at it. How are you able to stay so even keeled and humble and not get too big headed? Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I just always it's just been my like morally not to get too full of myself. I mean, my parents have obviously raised me to not get too full of myself when good things happen. So like I
Mhm.
try to just enjoy them for myself, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to do something negative to another person, like try and rub something in their face because I know out there there's people that could do that same thing to me. So like there's no point in doing that just to make myself feel better when I can just do good things on the field that are not hurting the other team or will not like mentally towards the other team to
Mhm.
make myself feel good.
I've always believed too that in a lot of ways, especially up in the Northeast, when you get not so much for UConn, because I feel like UConn does a great job of being able to get multiple different people, not just from one area. But when you go down south and if UConn and when you're there and you have the opportunity to play the Georgias, the Tennessees, the Kentuckys, that's like small fish, big pond, right? Because
Yeah.
there's kids that play when they're 3 years old, they're throwing 90. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Now you mentioned your parents. Who I don't want to say who's kept you in line, but who has been the biggest one, or maybe it's both, that has been able to keep you at the mental side that you just spoke of.
I would just say it's both. I mean, they all come to watch my games. They all come to watch me pitch.
Mhm.
And like you said, there's times being a teenager where you might seem a little cocky, but my parents have been like, "Hey, let's not do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So just both of them overall have kept me in line.
Now I'm assuming is your dad the same height as you, or are you
He's
taller?
pretty tall. So I'm 6'7". He's like 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, okay. So if he wants to say something, now he's looking up to you.
Yeah, I've passed him.
I'm sure you're still a little scared of him though, just a little.
Oh yeah, the dad strength can never be looked upon.
Old man strength. No disrespect. He's not an old man, but there's a saying: old man strength never
Oh
goes.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's hilarious. So I want to go back to the season. 9-1. You guys have done well so far. I know you mentioned NFA. You're playing twice. You and I were just saying. I've always believed it's hard to beat a team twice in the same week, no matter the sport. And I feel like that's going to be a good test for you guys because granted, NFA's having a very good season, but you think about the state tournament and such, and not to say you're going to play, I mean, you're not going to play a team twice in the same week, but you think about obviously NFA is coming for you and they know about you and the whole nine. So it's going to kind of have that state tournament vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So just in this past week, due to like rain and stuff, we had 4 division games in a row,
Wow.
and we were able to win them all. So as a team, we've been playing really good. We have a lot of pitching with young guys coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, I feel like we're prepared for that, like that state tournament vibe
Mm-hmm.
that we know is going to be there at the end of the year. I mean, we don't want to go out early. So throughout the whole season, like I think we're a little bit past the halfway point. So we just got to keep preparing for those competitive games where we might need to manufacture a run here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But next week, I feel like we're prepared to face this team twice because, like you said, they're coming for us. They want to beat us. They want to be the team to say they beat us.
Mm-hmm.
But coming off those 4 wins last week, I feel like we're good, and we'll be able to play good.
You know, looking at it from the perspective of Northeast baseball, it's going to rain early on in the season. That could make or break teams very easily, especially if you don't have the pitching. And for you guys to come out of that, to be able to, like you said, you have young guys stepping up. You guys have the pitching to be able to withstand something like that. I feel like that is another, when I think of teams and who knows who's going to win, I hope you guys have an opportunity to play in a championship game. But the point is, when you think of championship teams, it's never easy peasy, except for the 2016 Cubs where their rotation never missed a start, right? There's always
Yeah,
going to be injuries, there's going to be various things. So for you guys to be able to withstand playing 4 consecutive league games and winning all four, I mean, you guys had to be completely thrilled.
yeah. I mean, like at the beginning of the week, our coach kept saying, "We want to go 4 for 4, but you can't go 4 for 4 if you don't win the first one and if you don't win the second one." So
Okay.
just that mindset of this game is all that matters right now was
Mm-hmm.
really good for us to just focus on not looking for the next game because we knew every team we were going to face all week was going to be good. So focusing on the task at hand while it was faced to us
Mm-hmm.
was like just our biggest like thing that we were trying to work on so that we could manufacture the run here or there, win one game, and then focus on the next day, the next day.
Before I let you go, and I appreciate you coming on, man, it's great to be able to catch up with you again. Um, what were some of the goals that you set for yourself? Because people, I think some people, if they look at your size, be like, "Oh, this kid's a senior. He's graduating." No, only a junior. He's sticking around for another year. So feel bad for high school hitters. They got to deal with you. What is what were some of the things that you put forth and said, "I want to do this, this, and this," taking away winning a championship? I'm just talking about yourself for a second.
Yeah, so funny you asked. Before the season started, the coaches had every guy come up with a goal they wanted for the team and they wanted for themselves. So mine was so last year I was awarded all state. So this year I'd want to do that again and also just like improve my game with the little things like you said with like locating pitches and then hitting wise like being able to hit opposite fields what I've been working on a lot right now. So just like at this point in my life, like I feel like the little things is what I need to tune up the most to make
Mhm.
myself prepared for college.
Now, joking aside, did you also put how many no hitters you throw?
I did not.
Because
I did
right now
not.
you tied what you did last year, right? You only threw one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because if you threw more than one, I apologize. I remember one because that's
No,
what I had on
I
here.
think it was one.
So now I'm assuming you're going to shoot for two, right?
Yeah, got to go up every year.
That's what I'm saying. And now next year you got to go for who knows how many you could get this year because the season's not even over yet. You never
Yeah,
know. But
yeah,
hey, appreciate you coming on, man. Best of luck as far as with Woodstock Academy and the baseball program. Once again, also too, congratulations on getting the UConn. Kudos and UConn got a good one. I just hope everything can go well for you in the program because you guys are doing a great thing.
yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everything.
Always. I'll wrap things up in the CT Sports Talent Show. So next time, stay safe. Mary CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm sure you find them all. Build this shit, everybody, and be well.